Okay, this is the TST R002. Now, I reviewed this a few months ago, but they asked me to review this one because supposedly it's updated and better. We're going to find out. So let's put it together and check it out. Look, first thing I notice is it's orange. I think that's going to look pretty awesome. Okay, in the box here, it's the user's manual, how to put it together. Some parts. It's like a foot peg maybe. Pedals, charger, derailleur guard, kickstand, more foot pegs, tools, more tools, more parts. Okay, so the way that this is put together looks a lot nicer. So what's definitely changed is the box is way smaller and things are packed in here much tighter and better than before. So I think the packaging actually is much improved. Okay, everything's unpacked now. Looks like what we need to do is I need to flip this stem. So I need to invert it and then put the handlebar on and then put the headlight on and then put the front fender on. And then the way that they got this into a smaller box, I realized, is they made the seat disassemble. So I gotta put this on here and then put the seat on. The seat. And then we should be done. Took me about an hour and a half to put this together. So here we are inverting the stem and then putting the handlebars on. That part is pretty straightforward. And then next I move over to assembling the seat. Now the mistake I made is I tightened these bolts for the frame, but what you need to do is leave them loose because the seat has to fit. It's a pretty tight fit and you need a little wiggle room to get the seat in there. So I had to unloosen it and now I'm putting the seat in. These little nuts that you put in to secure the seat, those things are a pain to put on. It took me quite a while and the tools don't fit very well. It's a tight space. Now we're working on the front. Here we're putting on the front fender. That's pretty straightforward. There's just 3 screws that put them in. And then I had to put the headlight on, and luckily they put the headlight mount already, so you just flip them out and put the headlight on. And then I had to spread out the disc brake caliper so it would fit. And there's a through axle that they put in there, and you can use that through axle that they use to stabilize and chip with. That's the actual axle from the front wheel, which I like, instead of using a totally separate bolt, which I've seen in previous bikes. Then you put on the pedals and the kickstand and the rear foot pegs, and then you're basically done. Okay, here it is. It's all built. So I really like the orange color. They sent me an orange one. I didn't have any choice on the color, but the orange looks very nice. So let's go over this. This is hydraulic brakes on both sides. The standard 7-speed Shimano shifters. I think this is the 14 to 32 cassette, so it's not geared right to let you pedal. And just the nature of this bike, you're not really going to be pedaling this thing. These are optional foot pegs that you can put in here. They're just clamped down to the rear triangle here. They look pretty strong. I stood on these no problem, and I'm about 165 pounds. So you can stand on these pegs. I don't know that you can put a lot of force into them, but you can definitely use them as footrests. There's the rear hub motor, and then here's the hydraulic brakes, and the rotors are really nice. They come with these knobby wheels. They are 20 by 4 inch wheels. Then here is the removable battery. It has a sensor so you can see how much battery power you got left. So this battery is pretty much empty. And then here is the lock to be able to remove it. Over here is the on-off button, like that. And then the charging port right here. And you can open the charging port. And there it is. It's just a barrel plug. And then dual crown forks. There is no adjustment on these forks. You cannot adjust them at all. The rear shocks are here. I think they're adjustable. They are very, very tight. I can barely get them to move with my weight. So I think if you weigh 300 pounds or more, maybe you'll get some movement out of there. The rear derailleur is pretty basic. You're not going to be using it much anyway. I rode this through the rain, so it got a little bit muddy and handled the rain no problem. And these are mag wheels. They are aluminum alloy. And then finally, here is the headlights. The headlights are very bright, very easy to see with these. And then your standard headset and stem. The display is pretty hard to see in direct sunlight, but in shade, no problem. And you can it's enough to see what speed you're going, even in bright sunlight. And then there's a rear seat for your passenger, so you can ride this 2-up, and there is this quilted seat right here. The quilting is a little different than the original version, but overall looks same, and I really, really like the orange color. So overall, a great looking bike. Let's see how it rides. I've ridden this several times now in the rain, and this morning I took it out to my run club. So I was going running with some friends and I took it out. So it's a moped style bike, and so you see here on the flats it will go 28 miles per hour. The website says it goes 32 miles per hour. It does not go 32 miles per hour. It goes 28 miles per hour, which is a small difference, but if that matters to you, it maxes out at 28 miles per hour. And you have to unlock it. There's several videos on YouTube that tell you how to unlock it, but you have to unlock it to get to the 28 miles per hour. But it's not really, again, it's not a e-bike that's made for pedaling. Look at the position of the seat and my knees. Like, it's very, very close to the pedals, and it's not very comfortable to pedal. You can pedal. I'm pedaling here, but it's not very efficient. The seat is wide, so it's not really made for pedaling. And so if you just ride it like an e-bike, it's very comfortable. The seats feel nice. The foot pegs are very strong, and you can definitely put 2 people on it. I don't know how well it would do up a hill, and I'll show you how it does up a hill. Like here, you can see here, I'm going up a hill, and it's kind of hard to see, but I'm like 24, 25. Eventually, it gets to like 26 miles per hour. This is like a 3% grade, so it's a hill. Like on a regular bike, I'm probably pushing 12 miles per hour up this hill, working pretty hard. So 26 miles per hour up this hill is pretty good. I'm about 165 pounds. I'm sure if you're heavier, it's going to go slower. But it is a very comfortable ride. The seat is plush. And what I really like about this bike, compared to the previous bike, is you can access the full throttle, the full speed of the vehicle with the thumb throttle. You don't have to ghost pedal to try to get that. This is a steeper hill. I think this is like a 5% grade. I think it hits 21. Then when it gets really steep, it gets down to 19 miles per hour. But yeah, you can access the full speed of the e-bike with the thumb throttle, which is what you need, because it's not really meant to be pedaled. It's meant to be used with the thumb throttle. Now, half twist throttle would be nicer, but they went with a thumb throttle, which is fine. The gear shifts fine, but I don't think that gear shifting is going to matter much. And then the tires are pretty plush, and I think they would protect you from punctures, and the light is really bright, so I like that. Currently, this is selling for $7.99. There's a coupon code. You can put in Aptera for $100 off, and then there might they're having a current deal. That's the current deal for Black Friday, which is at the time of this video. So yeah, I think it's a great looking bike, and if you're looking for a moped style bike, the value is good. It's well built, drives well, rides well, and the range is pretty good. It's 26 miles per hour, which is a big improvement.